be a dream say for some days now no Ghana ya trendy year and you swa trendy based on the helicopter crash accident na esino na once nipa do na na ba comment bebre but if you Pratt edit on some different our movie away from the normal comment amount for make about the incident or the new twist biaba no na ba ka inside ba be bo ma e wo PENDREAM TV mesro say ene dey can cry we share content bia abusia subscribe and click on the notification bell so na be anytime bia the content will be the tool say na abusia won so on sabetini aka information no bi e wo ha na mesro say we should video we na like it and then also bring your comments, share the video, and also follow PENDREAM TV on all the platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. No, PENDREAM TV. I'm going to TV Pratt Junior. The other side, nature because what just story no like what other side of the whole thing is because once I Obia comment on making based on the incident itself, like how incident the mistake of the military, the maintenance teams now they are those side no Obia anything eboho. But Fifi Pratt were taking the time into the lifestyles of perform we are involved, work into the lifestyle of their life, like how loyal they are, not like faking the way we are loyal, not to only the people around them, but to the nation at large. Work out into their lifestyle. Also, we use this opportunity we at their church and say be year and kasa incident young just name from stopping girl I'm saying say the be with media I celebrated these people. These are our heroes or matini crash here at me about a geomun from same ya you bet media celebrate you in a way. In the end try say yet the nine or the or the two abandoning said we should make sure say that the number see you na just topic and say truly to honor these strong heroes I am so now otachi one yama bebre any other education Saudi ma ya na dey o kire bu say ono woman personal reasons are no onye military for Adam for ni and military for any Adam for na dey but enye because of anything but the personal reasons enuti and announce so grammar soldier for no dey ultimate come much about them but you once omo national assignment now we are to they go down to history for the nation. Yango Tino, a bra or this antichimu in Ebaha. They will sound like I said, say, who should be
with this guy?
Sure you like, comment, and also share the video. Send a bear after phone so bet me account information. Yango T 50 Pratt Junior.
He's never invited me to lunch before.
Yes.
He never had a bottle of Coke or shared a bottle of Coke with me. Or anything, he was that kind of a guy, and yet he was so loud. Then workers broke down. I saw presenters crying because of him, and that was remarkable. This was a remarkable gentleman. The other guy, Munero, I got to know him as a Northern Regional Minister. In fact, I had gone to see A.B. Fuseni, who was a very good friend of mine, and he wanted to introduce me to his minister. He was then the Northern Regional Minister, and I saw him. And since then, we've been friends. Later on, I came to recognize that he was deep in the circles in which I don't have many friends. I don't go to many houses. In fact, in Accra, there are not more than 3 houses that I visit. Yeah. I keep to myself, a very private person. But there's one particular house that I go to quite often, almost on a daily basis. And I found him there. And I found that he was married to a sister of my very good friend, Hassan Libi.
Oh, Libi. What's Libi's sister?
Yes, he's married to Hassan Libi's sister.
Okay.
So a certain bond developed. Got invited to his house a couple of times for lunch. We met regularly and so on. And one of the most distinguishing things about him was his unalloyed loyalty to President Mahama. I mean, I've never seen anybody that loyal to another person. You know, I mean, I don't know how to describe it. I mean, for him, President Mahama was everything. You know, he was absolutely loyal to President Mahama, and he would do anything for him. And so that was one of the things that I noticed about him. You know, in the period that I related to him, his loyalty to President Mahama was beyond, you know, anything you can imagine. And that also extended to a loyalty to the National Democratic Congress. But I thought that, from what I know from my dealings with him, the loyalty to President Mahama was first, and every other loyalty came second. He was very, very loyal to President Mahama. I have no doubt at all about it, you know. I was very surprised when I learned that he had become Deputy National Security Coordinator for Human Security.
Human Security, yes.
I was very surprised. I was wondering, why did he accept that position? He's the one who had been minister before. You understand? The whole national security thing is under the Minister of Interior.
Yeah.
There's a minister, there's a deputy, there's a national security coordinator before you get to the Deputy National Security Coordinator. And he accepted it. And I was wondering, now maybe hierarchy doesn't mean anything to him, which is a good thing, you understand? But if hierarchy meant anything to him, that's not the position that he would have accepted.
Now he's a demotion of a sort.
Oh yeah, serious one.
Yeah.
And yet he accepted it, and I'm sure he probably accepted it also out of his loyalty to President Mahama. Of course, all of you know Mr. Sapon, who became Vice National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress. I'm sure many people have not heard about him. Can you imagine the Vice National Chairman of a ruling party? And many people don't know him. They don't even know that he exists. That must also tell you something about him. Maybe humility. Something about him. You know, I met him when he was a Santi Regional Minister. Had very useful interactions with him, and then eventually he got transferred to the Western region as Regional Minister.
Central.
Not Western. You see, this confusion had been happening all the time. The first time, I remembered him as Central Regional Minister, and then somebody came and said, no, it wasn't Central, it was Western.
Okay.
And I said, maybe I'm mistaken. Old age is catching up with me, so maybe it's right, it's Western. And I said, Western. Somebody said Central, and so I found out that it was Western region.
Okay.
You know, it was Western region. You know, and I was so very happy when I heard that he had become Central or Western Regional Minister. You know why?
Why?
Because I thought that we were following the tradition of Nkrumah and Kuchua Champo.
Okay.
We wanted to make the point that where you hail from is not important in the service to the nation. You know, under Nkrumah, you didn't have to come from a particular constituency, you see, or speak the language of the constituency to contest elections there to go to parliament. And that's why Nkrumah and contested elections in Accra Central, which today is Odududu, and won massively against an indigent. You understand? That is why somebody like Colonel Minila was sent to Koforidua as regional minister, and Akwe Norte was sent to the northern region, and it worked. Up to today, the people of Koforidua cannot forget Colonel Minila and what he did in Koforidua to transform the city and so on. And all over, I mean, Colonel Bedu became Ashanti Regional Minister, Central Regional Minister, and so on. So I thought that we were carrying on with that experiment. Unfortunately, it didn't go far. We soon reverted back to our backward ways.
The status quo.
Backward ways. You know, we are still back in our backwardness and so on. So I've known him as somebody who is open to discussion and so on. Unfortunately for me, I didn't know any of the Air Force, Air Force people involved in this crash. I didn't know the pilot. I didn't know the two others. Who I am, I've also consciously kept away from dealings with people in the armed forces. I don't want to give anybody trouble. You understand? Because some time ago, I know what the repercussions would have been if I was a friend to a serving military officer. So I keep my distance.
Okay.
But whatever it is, all 8 of them died in the service of the nation.
Yeah.
All 8 of them without exception.
Yeah.
This pilot died in the service of Ghana.
Yeah.
And as I said, we need to approve Galamsey in their memory. I mean, some people may be thinking about erecting a statue and so on. No, the best statue we can erect is to uproot Galamsey.
Eradicate it.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Fifi Pratt. His personal encounter with almost all the people, the 8 people that got involved in this helicopter crash. And the way the reason, the personal reasons are on person of a soldier for Adam for now they are doing now. Of course, touchy on Yama be break. The best send that you can crowd share content via her. Subscribe, like I said earlier, subscribe to PENDREAM TV and also click on the notification bell so that they are anytime. The content will be able to now also one notification maybe.